Going. I am Kevin Fennell.
I am Josh Gerwin. That was a lot of
And we went to the zoo. We'll talk about that later.
I promise.
We're actually going to talk about it a little bit later. We're actually going to talk about the zoo.
We have to.
We have to talk about it, guys. But first, we're going to talk about happy things. Josh, I want to talk about the Philadelphia Phillies. Guys, this has nothing to do with theater. It's just our radio show, and I don't care. So, the Phillies...
Okay.
The Phillies...
The listeners don't know Kevin likes the Phillies.
Yeah. The Phillies are out of contention for the playoffs, okay? I don't know if you know this.
Yes,
They're not great. They're not great. But the New York Metropolitans, the worst team in the world ever.
Right.
Times infinity.
Right.
Like, oh my God. They are the worst team in the league. The Mets still have a chance to make the playoffs, like they did last year when they went to the World Series and lost. Anyway.
Yes.
I don't want them to make the playoffs. The Phillies play the Mets tonight in New York.
Yes.
But also, the Mets play the Phillies next week in Philadelphia. The final 3 games of the season.
So, are you going?
I am. I'm going on Friday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's already happening. Because it could be the only game that actually matters technically for the Phillies. Because if the Mets are still in the wild card contention, but every loss to the Phillies would matter. And in the last 3 games of the season.
So it's just so that the Mets don't get it.
The Mets don't. I want to ruin the Mets season more than I've ever wanted to do anything in my life, honestly.
Really? So are you going to boo?
Oh, I'm going to boo so hard. I hate Mets. And I hate Mets fans.
You hate Mets fans, too?
Oh, God, they're the worst. They're so rude. They're mean. I get into fights with Mets fans a bunch.
You get
it's not
into
great.
fights?
No, I don't get into punching fights.
You get into fisticuffs?
No, I usually make very benign jokes that are a little mean, but aren't really anything.
Right.
Oh man.
So is your face?
Stuff like that. I went to a Blue Jays Phillies game and got accosted by Blue Jays fans because they started a "Let's Go Blue Jays" chant in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And that upset me.
It upset you?
Because we were in Philadelphia, and they were already winning by 14 or something. It was not a close game.
Right.
And they started "Let's Go Blue Jays" chant. And I was like, you guys are already winning. I made a joke about how you already took the 93 World Series from me and ruined my childhood. Isn't that enough? I said, you have Justin Trudeau. Isn't that good enough? Isn't that enough for you? Isn't life great? I mean...
One more thing.
Yeah, you have universal health care. Like, come on, stop taking away the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, you can't start a "Let's Go Blue Jays" chant in front of me. You have enough. Okay?
They have enough.
They do.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
And they got very mad at those jokes. Like, I was called some very negative words that I haven't heard since my high school theater days about myself. Yes. Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. Like, went after me and my friend Nick. While they were leaving, too, because they were up 14. Why would they stay? I thought the comeback was coming. It did not come.
Did not come.
It did not.
No.
But
14.
It was a lot. It was a lot of runs. I can't remember. We were down by a lot. There was a lot of home runs by the Blue Jays. It wasn't a great game for the Philadelphia Phillies. It was a great season. I had so much fun watching. But I can't wait till next week. They've ruined the Mets. So that's how I want to start this show. Because it's our show. And I love the Phillies.
We want to see the losers win.
All right, so that was some happy news.
That was rough.
Now we have the sad news. So...
Yeah.
Our show is called...
We went to the zoo.
Which is a joke on I've been to the zoo story.
Yeah.
Edward Albee wrote the zoo story.
As well as many other things.
And there's many other great things. American Dream, Sandbox, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The Goat, all sorts of things. Amazing stuff. He died
just did.
Josh.
Yes. I believe. How old was he? Was he?
He was old.
Yeah.
We don't have to go into those types of details. Man was old, but still a bummer. Edward Albee died. You know.
Absolutely. I can't believe I find the premise of the goat pretty.
Yeah, the goat
story.
It's
the
great.
story behind it is also pretty great.
And we'll talk about that later in our interview stuff. When did you first read Albee?
It was in 9th grade, I believe. I read Zoo Story because, like, just 2 years ago, my theater teacher had put it on in our high school.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, it was like really, and there was this fantastic guy who was playing. I'm sorry, obviously the messed up one. I've been to the zoo.
Jerry.
Jerry, yes.
Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, he had played this guy that I know who's fantastic. His name's Dylan Stern Kearney, and he was just crazy. As this guy, he was just crazy as his character. He's metalhead, he's like, he's got the long hair, and runs a fantastic little film company out of Lancaster, or works at one, and does a lot of commercials and stuff now. But he has played like a bunch of different characters that were pretty outrageous. The guy had played Frankenfurter and like had this metal band that still has this metal band now, but he was playing Jerry, and it was just really cool to see, like, I don't know, such a interesting like visual for the guy who's reading those lines.
It's a great show.
Yeah. Like, it's just it's great that you can make so many different very stark difference characters in those two characters. Like, they don't need to look the same, or it's like there's a lot of shows that are coming out around now that like part of the show is the visual and like the look, and we like to poke fun at the show quite a bit. But Spring Awakening, like for example, like plays that are like a lot of those musicals and things like that now, it's like you have to like have almost the exact same like look. Mm-hmm. And the same, general like visual thing for the show to be recognizable, whereas Zoo Story is super cool because it's interpretive, and like you can change like the aesthetic of it all.
It's two guys on a bench.
Yeah, like anybody can play either of them.
It's two people on a bench.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So it's great. It's two people on a bench. I was reading that the reason he wrote the first part, because he came back and wrote the second part 40 years later or whatever,
mm-hmm. is
that he thought Jerry was a full character, but Peter was only half a character. He was just the guy that Jerry bounced off of. Right. And that's why he wanted to write the home life, which is why it's called, the first part is called Home Life.
Right.
I think that's interesting.
He wrote that?
I think it's true, but it's interesting that he thought that about the play that he finished.
I mean, I don't know. I think he kind of serves as like, I don't know. He kind of, that character is like, he's kind of, I don't know. He's the voice of the audience. I feel like more until he like kind of becomes, like he has like a story by the end and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like once you know about him, and then you know.
Birds.
Yeah, I mean, like he's not like that whole John.
No, it's just something I thought was interesting. Because I find it fascinating hearing about writers going back and seeing and like either reading stuff they've written and either liking it or not liking it.
Star Wars guys.
Oh yeah, I mean Star Wars. It's a big thing. But he was a terrible writer. George Lucas was a bad writer. Like that was never a thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the like, biggest.
Al Guinness even says, like, I have no idea what I was saying, but it paid for my beach house.
Right.
Like, famously.
Yeah.
Because it was such Beetleborg. Especially if you see, like, the first, casting sessions they have on the DVDs.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
where
some.
Hamlin
Ford.
You see Ford just trying to stumble through this jibbity jeep. It's like, we gotta go 5 parsecs into the west corridor, 19 dimensions south of the south corridor of the Flortex Nebula if we're going to get there. It's like, why would you say all those things?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well,
And they get that right out of there. Somebody cut that right out of there.
Yeah.
It's always good to have an editor, don't you think, Josh?
I would say.
You know,
Editors are pretty fantastic.
I was in an Albee play in college. It was actually my last play at Roger Williams before I transferred, sadly. I was in The Sandbox.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I played Daddy.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Mommy, Daddy, and Grandma who's in The Sandbox. It's a very odd play.
Yeah, I feel like
I was great in it.
I
don't remember.
about that.
I don't remember much, but I was great in it because why wouldn't I be great? It was directed by my buddy Chris, who is now in Hollywood. Hollywood.
Yes.
Yes.
Man.
I played Daddy.
Played Daddy. There's
I don't remember who Mommy was. I should probably remember that. Sorry.
Have you ever seen a production of Who's Afraid of Virginia?
I have not.
I would love to.
Yeah?
So
It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
Real good.
I remember hearing about a production that was going on, I think in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
And I was moving to Philadelphia, so I didn't. So
You missed it.
I was like, yeah, no point.
On that midnight train to Philly.
On that
We can't do that.
You can't do that. We're
Midnight train to Philly is just what he took. He just took a midnight train.
Yeah.
That's what happens sometimes. They have midnight trains. Just trains that start at midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just what happens. To Philadelphia. He was not going anywhere else.
We have a guest who actually took a midnight train to Philadelphia.
Possibly.
Our guest today.
He definitely came to Philadelphia at one point. He might have taken the train. We did not ask. We should have asked.
If he took a midnight
That's bad work on us. Josh, what's going on in the Philadelphia theater?
Theater, you'd say. I mean, there's obviously Fringe Week. Last night, I went and saw...
It's Totes Fringe.
Yes.
Josh saw a Fringe show.
I did. I had my one night off from Catastrophe.
Yeah.
And
a Fringe show.
And I went and saw Nip. At Tattooed Mom.
Tattooed Mom.
It's going on for the rest of this weekend. It is wild.
6th and South Street, something like that?
Yeah, it's right by 6th and South. I saw it. It's starring one of my friends, Christine Deutsch, who is an incredible actress, and then her boyfriend James, who's also you hate that's your least favorite.
No one should have boyfriends.
No one should have.
No one should have boyfriends. Nope. Anyway.
But Christine is with and her boyfriend James were both in the radio show that I did over at Society Hill just before it closed out.
Yeah.
And I've never seen her do something off script.
Yeah.
Because we had just done like
this
a
is all
radio show.
improv?
Yeah. No. It was a pretty wild play. It's about there's a woman who's going on a burlesque tour as a burlesque dancer, and she brings along her best friend, and her best friend has to bring along her niece.
Man, it sounds like a Disney movie written all over it.
I mean,
this kid keeps getting.
But it turns out that there's a murderer that's been
stop it there.
That's been killing them. That's been killing women every stop that she goes.
So it's like Jack the Ripper meets that rock movie where he suddenly has a child.
Meets Jennifer's
meets
body.
Burlesque.
Yes.
So it's Burlesque, the movie with Cher, meets that one The Rock movie where he's a quarterback that suddenly has a daughter.
Right.
Meets Jack the Ripper.
Sure.
It's like 100% correct.
I would say
like 110, like
110%.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I have this down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, the show's pretty great. I was surprised with what they were able to do with Tattooed Mom's space.
Yeah.
It was very well run. It was still kind of interpretive, which is what you find a lot of productions that they have over at Tattooed Mom.
It's so little space that has to be interpretive.
Yeah, they did really well.
That's what we do. Fringe, son.
And it's like kind of half. It becomes partly like a burlesque show at one point in the show.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah. What else is going on?
We have Catastrophe still going on. Yeah.
Tell Josh Orm Street,
Well,
Paper Mill.
we do have we have that show going. And speaking of which, our cat is
Our cat's trying to attack Josh.
He's trying to attack
That's what
me.
he said, catastrophe.
He loves
Anyway,
me.
what else is going on, Joshua?
I have to. There's a show called Stupid Effing Bird.
Stupid Effing Bird. Yeah, that's all.
It's over at Arden.
It's
right
all
now.
over our job at the City Tavern. They have a bunch of everywhere.
It sounds pretty.
It's a stupid effing bird.
Yeah, I mean, from what I gather, it's been the rage these days. So I'll give you the rundown that they have in here. It's an irreverent, contemporary, and very funny remix of The Seagull. Arden Theatre Company's co-founder Aaron Posner scoops up Chekhov's tale of unrequited love and missed opportunities and misplaced dreams and sets it down squarely in the bustle of 21st century life. So,
you know what I remember about
cool.
the seagull?
What's that?
The one joke from 30 Rock.
Oh, what was
that? Grace Play was in the seagull, and Tracy calls it that bird play.
That bird play
in front of him to make him feel sad, and then when later it's to Liz Lemon, she's like, "You can't give him an audition. I saw that guy transform into Tregorn, the seagull."
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That he
it's
actually
amazing.
thought it was incredible.
Yeah,
I heard
they call it that stupid bird play.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I was in the seagull. Had the Wesleyan main stage. Great show. But yeah, Stupid Effing Bird, check that out. Catastrophe, check that out. We're going to talk about King John in a second with the director. Check that out at Hawthorne Park. These are all going on this weekend. Check them out. But we got to go. Check out. Yeah, we'll talk about other stuff. Alrighty then. I am Kevin Fennell.
I'm Josh Kerwin.
We went to the zoo.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later.
We will talk about it. And we are here with our guest this week, Dan Kern.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. He is the director of King John.
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Who's producing that and where?
Revolution Shakespeare. Griffin Stanton Meison's the actual producer. It's his company. He's the artistic director, and this is their third season of putting on Shakespeare in not Clark Park.
Not Clark Park.
Hawthorne Park.
Hawthorne Park.
Cannon Street, yeah. And so he asked me to direct the show, and I was happy to do it. Griffin was a former student of mine. So.
Okay.
And I've kind of watched him over, the last 10 years, and I'm actually on the board of advisors for the company. So, I've been real interested in what he's been doing.
Absolutely. So Hawthorne Park, and it's free. So
Which is amazing.
everyone should go. It's for the Fringe Festival, correct?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Have you ever done a Fringe Festival show before?
I have over the years. I've been here 15 years. I came from LA, and I think in the beginning I did a couple of things early on. Have not recently. So this is the first thing in probably 10 years that I've done for the Fringe.
That's awesome.
And King John,
Yeah.
lesser known Shakespeare.
I have to be honest. I've read the play, but I personally have never seen a production of it, and I've seen a lot of Shakespeare.
Yeah, I've never seen. I only know the one monologue that's done a lot.
Oh yeah, the Bastard Speech. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad world, mad kings, mad composition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome speech.
Yeah, it is a cool speech.
But can you tell us a little bit about the plot? Because honestly, I don't know, Josh.
Yeah, I haven't read this one before.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a political piece.
Yeah.
And I think everybody knows about King John from Robin Hood stories and how
Sure.
he's sort of this arch villain who sort of usurps the throne from his brother Richard the Lionhearted. That's sort of in this play, although it's John is not really a villain in this piece. He's really a man struggling to hold on to his throne, and in the process, he loses most of the holdings that his mother Eleanor and his father Henry II, famous from, what was that play they did? Katharine Hepburn and Peter O'Toole. Lion in Winter.
Oh, yeah, Lion in Winter, yeah.
Anyway, Eleanor had huge holdings in France. In fact, a good portion of France was owned by England at that time through her hereditary rights. John lost them primarily through just bad stewardship, bad generalship. And so he ends up, taxing his lords in order to support wars, continual wars, to go over there and kind of hold on to or regain those. So in this play, it really concerns a political arrangement between John and the King of France, Philip. And the King of France has taken the side of young Arthur. Arthur is the son of Geoffrey. Geoffrey is John's older brother. So when Richard he was killed actually, Geoffrey was the heir to the throne. But Geoffrey got killed in a jousting match.
As you do.
As you do. I did that sort of thing back
Yeah.
Probably pretty drunk at the time, I would bet. But,
Well, if you're going to joust, do it drunk.
So that meant that Arthur was the legitimate heir to the throne. But Eleanor, his grandmother, was a conniving, power-hungry lady.
Yeah.
And she wasn't in the least bit interested in seeing the throne pass on to Constance, who is Geoffrey's wife, Arthur's mother, who was a very controlling woman.
Mm-hmm.
So she supported the claim of her youngest son, John. And so in this particular situation, the English have come to France, to Angers, to fight, to win back the town, win control of it. And in the process, they can't get into the town because the citizens have locked the gates and said, no, we're not going to let you in. We're not going to recognize a king until the two of you fight it out, and whoever wins, then we'll recognize them as the king. So they start to fight it out, and then the bastard says, guys, maybe the best bet would be for you to be friends for a moment, turn your weapons on this town and take out the city, and then decide who gets to have it. So they decide that's what they're going to do. And they're about to walk out the door and do that when the citizens say, wait. You have somebody there with you, Blanche of Spain, who is John's niece, Eleanor's great-granddaughter. And she is a blood heir to the throne. If you were to marry Blanche to Louis, the son of Philip, the Dauphin, we would let you in, and we would then be certain where the hereditary rights to the throne of England were going to go.
Right.
So that's basically the setup, the political setup, and then everything unravels from there.
Sure.
And ends with lots of killing. Arthur gets killed.
Oh, man.
Bummer.
Constance dies. Eleanor dies. John dies. They all die.
There you go.
And it ends up with the bastard in the end, basically saying, we've suffered through some pretty bad kings, despots, and the real truth is that if we of England, we people, if we can just be true to ourselves, we will overcome anything. So it's really kind of a play that's really about, I guess, being responsible, good citizens, and standing up for what is right. So in a way, it's a kind of an anti-war play, anti-despot play.
It sounds poignant.
I think it is, and I think it actually has a lot to say about kind of where we are right now, because political dealings, commodity, which is what the bastard calls it, is the way not only business is conducted, but politics these days.
Absolutely. Yeah, this sounds like a piece that, this is a good thing. There's going to be people who are of all different kinds of, class situations. Or there's so many people who can go to this play.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to get you're going to have whereas you can't if you're seeing a tour of I don't know, Bullets Over Broadway or something like that, it's like $300 for tickets and stuff like that. And it's so good. That is one of the greatest things about being able to do Shakespeare, is that you can make it available pretty much.
Do it in parks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the best. It's great.
And we try to structure it in a way that would appeal, I think, to everybody, hopefully.
Yeah.
We've said it in a post-apocalyptic world, kind of get it out of the sort of, jousting kings and queens era and put it in a world where civilization's collapsed. And essentially, they're kind of gangs, warlords, tribes, if you will, that have sort of are fighting in hand-to-hand combat. We've kind of eliminated all the
That's incredible.
The anachronisms, of guns and whatnot. So it's kind of back to that whole idea again, which I think is a big part of why the play was interesting and popular at the time, because for England, at the time Shakespeare wrote the play, this was already 300 or 400 years ago. And so it was kind of like, cowboys and Indians for them.
Yeah.
It was there. They loved that.
Yeah.
I have seen. Speaking of which, I've seen a couple different cowboy interpretations of a lot of Shakespeare shows.
A lot of Shakespeare shows.
I like when people change it, but they don't use like your standard things that people have done with Shakespeare. Like what was it? I think I saw Taming of the Shrew as like a Western kind of thing before. But I love it when somebody, I don't know, post-apocalyptic sounds
pretty interesting.
like a great way to put it for a lot of Shakespeare. That's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of smacks of, like video games and stuff a little bit. Like that's people are, that fantasy world is sort of fun for people. And we've also, I just said, Griffin said, Dan, we like to put music in our shows. And I thought, what would be music in a post-apocalyptic world? So I don't know. So I decided that we would do some variation on rock and roll. So I pulled on trip hop.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's filled with music inspired by people like Portishead, Massive Attack, stuff like that.
That's pretty interesting.
We have a terrific band. The actors are the band, and the actress who's playing multiple roles. I basically cast the role of Peter Pomfret, who's appears for one scene, has exactly one line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's a prophet and a seer, and he predicts that John's going to lose his crown. And I said, why not? Let's take that character, and then make that character also be the character of Arthur, Blanche of Spain, and then in the end, Prince Henry, who is the heir to the throne. All of them are young people. All of them are exploited by the system. I thought, what a great way to sort of track that through. So she's the lead singer in the rock band as Peter Pomfret, and then she plays these other characters.
That's awesome.
That's pretty amazing.
And I think
sounds like a
it's working too.
Yeah.
I think it's working.
And so, was King John something that you had known before, or just read in passing, and then this is something you learned a lot from this experience? Because that's how I usually come to Shakespeare.
No, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't know the play.
No.
As I said, I'd read it, but
yeah.
But
But reading, it's like a quasi step if you want to understand Shakespeare.
It is, and it's a whole lot easier to see them done. And the one version that I did see, which I think is the old BBC version.
Okay.
They did the whole series, I don't know, back in the 70s or something. Pretty standard museum piece type of presentation of the play, which wasn't particularly helpful.
No, probably not.
So we, and the play is not overly long, but too long for sitting on the grass in the park.
Yeah.
So I snipped out about a third of the play.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I know that they gets done quite often.
Yeah.
That's
generally most of the time.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I cut this more than I probably would normally, just because I felt like.
Because you're outside.
It's how nobody knows the play, so
Yeah.
I thought better. Let's get it to the essence, because there actually are some great scenes in the play, and let's just shape the play around those.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because when I did lesser known Shakespeare, I did Coriolanus a couple years ago, and going into that show, I had no idea what that play was about, and getting to do it and playing the part, and it's amazing. It's so brilliant, and it's barely done or not done enough.
It's a cool play.
Yeah, and that's why I'm interested in King John, because all I know is the speech.
They're both very political plays.
Yeah, and the way that he wrote politics was so brilliant, and
they're timely, and that's part of why he's so great.
It is. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Shakespeare's good, guys. I don't know if you know this. Newsflash.
I'm aware.
All right, so we're going to take a break and do for a couple ads, and then we'll come back with Dan Kern, and we'll talk some more about Shakespeare, King John, and theater. All right, guys? And now we are back.
We are back. Welcome.
He's Josh Kerwin.
He's Kevin Fennell.
And I'm Dan Kern.
There he is.
Yeah.
The
Going to
man.
the zoo.
So, Dan, when did you? What was your first play that you directed?
I was an actor in the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco.
Okay.
As part of that
Great.
company, I trained there for a couple of years, and then I went into the company as a sort of an apprentice, and then worked my way up. And it was there that I directed my first productions, mostly directing the students in the conservatory.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And then they bumped me up and they let me direct something. They had a new plays program, and so I directed something in that. And then I kind of took a hiatus from directing for a while. I got too busy acting, and then I decided to go to LA in the early 80s.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so I did some acting there, and was fortunate. Got some TV work. Did some work at some of the local professional theaters in LA. There's a few of them. And then again, around the mid '80s, I started to direct again, and I did a few pieces there. It was still spotty because I was really primarily focusing on acting.
Absolutely.
And then I guess in the early '90s, I took my first position at a university. I was teaching at Cal State University down in Fullerton.
Nice.
Okay.
And I just, they liked my background, and they said, "Hey, why don't you head up our directing program?" So
Nice.
I did,
There you go.
and then I started directing regularly from that point on. Yeah. So it's been at least 20 years,
20 years.
25 years.
Cal State Fullerton, great baseball team.
Yeah, they were like
One of the best college baseball teams.
Augie Guerrero was the coach there at that time,
Yeah.
and then I guess he went to Texas. But yeah, they were. I think they had won the World Series once or twice.
Yeah. They were very good. The Titans.
Yeah.
Cal State Fullerton. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I was there for 8 years, and then we decided to pick up stakes, and I took a job at Temple.
At Temple.
So I
Temple.
Yeah. Incredible.
and I taught there for 15 years and retired last year. So now I'm back to full-time acting and directing.
That's
There
awesome.
you go, in full force. That's incredible. How long was it that you stayed in LA for?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What do you? Would you say that you prefer Philadelphia these days, or do you still miss the West Coast?
Well, I'm a West Coast person. I mean, I was born and raised in Oregon, and then just sort of migrated down to California. So that was kind of home for me, and most of my family is there. Although, I have a brother in New York, but I like Philly.
Yeah.
I mean,
We do too.
It's
we
different.
love it.
Yeah, in LA, nobody's from LA. Everybody's from everywhere else. And,
Right, absolutely.
And that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the charm and a lot about what we like about Philly is the neighborhoods and the people. They're very real.
I like it.
Yeah, as do I.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I haven't been to Los Angeles myself. And
No.
Yeah.
Nope,
we haven't been over there yet. Haven't made the trek.
Yeah.
But it seems like something that I would always love to see some Los Angeles theater. That's something that I've wanted to see. I mean, like, what was the scene like for you when you were working around there?
Well, like New York, there's a huge concentration of talent there. Because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then ultimately, people who decide to make a career realize that they need to make a little bit of money in addition to doing what they love.
Absolutely.
So, the scene there is, there's a lot of what they call 99-seat theater. I don't know if you've been following the news about that. It's been quite controversial. Actors Equity is trying to ditch that program and get actors to be actually paid when they work in those kinds of situations. But for actors who primarily view their work as showcase, they're not into it. So it is controversial. But setting aside the 99-seat theaters, of which there are a few that are really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they have really good folks working in them, and
Right.
they do some creative programming. But aside from that, you have, of course, the Mark Taper Forum, which is the Amundsen and the Taper, Pasadena Playhouse, A Noise Within, South Coast Rep, Laguna Playhouse. Those are all what you would call strong, regional theaters that do really good work.
That's incredible. I mean, what was your favorite theater that you worked in when you were in LA?
Well, I did some great work at South Coast Rep. I got to play Salieri and Amadeus there.
Oh yeah.
Back in the latter part of the 80s. And I also enjoyed working at the Mark Taper, and I did some good work at A Noise Within, which is a really fine company. A lot of those folks came out of ACT, but I directed a couple of shows for them. I played Leontes in Winter's Tale for them, Volpone, and just got to do some fun stuff.
Got your work in.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. Well,
what kind of stuff did you do at Temple? I mean, were you just directing? Did you still act on the side?
I did. It's tough with a full-time job.
Absolutely.
Especially the Temple job was pretty demanding because I was, I had an administrative position. I was head of programming. I was head of directing originally, and then went into being head of acting, and it's pretty demanding. But I've gotten to do a few things here and there. Usually with the smaller theater companies. I did one show at the Wilma. Did a couple of shows with Interact. Mm-hmm. Did a few shows out in Ambler at Act 2.
Oh.
So,
So as head of program, I assume you helped put together their season?
Well, I wasn't the artistic director.
Oh, okay.
That I was not. That's really more in that job's description to do that sort of thing. I mean, I certainly had influence, and I generally got to pick the play that I was directing.
Right. I just love to learn how they put together seasons at different places, because I know my college always did like one musical, one classic, one modern, and one contemporary, or tried to do that once a season.
Well, I would say that that's a sound approach in an educational setting, because you want to provide the students with a diversity of opportunity. Absolutely. I think perhaps the programming at Temple is a little bit more like a regional theater. I mean, they definitely solicit ideas from the students, what the students are interested in doing, but they they have a musical theater program, and so they got to do 1 or 2 musicals a year, and then the rest of it is they usually will do a classic along with that, and then they really sort of try to focus on sort of the hot cutting-edge new plays that are coming out of New York.
Right.
That's pretty awesome. All right, so we're going to take another break, and we're going to play some games.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, Kevin Fennell.
Josh Kerwin.
We went to the zoo.
We'll talk about it later, though.
J-Town Radio. All right, and we have come back.
We went to the zoo.
I'm Kevin Fennell.
I'm Josh Kerwin.
And we're still with
Dan Kern.
Yeah, we're going to play some games.
Welcome.
And
again,
eventually we're going to give away a T-shirt for the production, because we can't give away tickets because they're free. Just go see the show at Hawthorne Park.
Absolutely.
You just have to go.
Yeah, just
go and
take your legs.
6:30 in the evening, so it starts early.
Yeah,
you can it's over by 8:30. You can have dinner after.
Yeah,
bring a bottle of wine.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all the days, or is there another weekend?
Yeah. I think Wednesday. I think that's it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's a matinee in there somewhere, but I'm not sure when. I'm sorry to say.
Just check it out on Facebook, King John. But yeah, go see King John. It's free. But
there is a lot of killing in King John, as we've talked about. Yeah. A lot of violence at certain points. So we'll bring that to
well, we're gonna first
a game in a minute here. Yeah. But the first game we're gonna play is How Long Did It Run?
How long did it run? So this is how long it ran on Broadway, how many performances, and it's give or take 100.
So if you're within 100 of the performances, then you'll be winning a T-shirt for.
We're not gonna do that part yet. We're gonna do that in a second.
It's gonna be based on Shakespeare. But a little warm-up game here. Yeah. So in honor of. Sir, Mr. Albee. Edward
Albee died, guys.
Nice.
Which is a bummer, because we're named after an Edward Albee show.
Yes. So, but we're going to have another episode of that coming up soon. But in light of that, the first one's going to be Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
How long do you think the original production of
On
that
Broadway.
on Broadway?
Won a Tony. As it should have.
Let's say 125 performances.
Which actually,
I mean,
guessing
nice
low is
nice
better
run.
than guessing high.
Yeah, it's a nice run.
But it did actually get up to 654.
Oh,
654.
It did like, but that does
Hey.
seem like it would be that way for some like strange reason.
But you're underselling Uta Hagen.
Oh, I'm not. I love Uta Hagen.
As everyone should. Uta Hagen's amazing.
My sense of straight plays on Broadway is jaded by the current.
yeah. But no, Uta Hagen could not be denied.
No.
And if you're ever doing the New York Times crossword and need a 3-letter word for blank Hagen, it's Uta. It's UTA.
Used her book for years.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah. So the next one we have is also
Another Everett Albee.
Another Albee. And we have The Goat, or Who is Sylvia?
Yeah. You can thank Rick Santorum for this play. It's a fact.
Oh yeah.
He said that, what are you going to do next? If you're going to let gay marriage happen, what are you going to do next? Let a man marry a dog? And Edward Albee wrote a play about a man falling in love with a goat.
Is that right?
That's a fact.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love the play.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good. Albee had some game, like I said. So yeah, so how long do you think? Now this is actually closer
Yeah,
to reality
I
time.
would go to the 125.
Which
Right, so you're gonna go with 125 again?
Well, it's it played everywhere, and I guess that's what I would say. I don't know.
even closer, but
Yeah.
still no cigar. It's 309.
309.
It did run
Close.
309.
Yeah.
But once again, I would kind of guess as low as it's like, oh, it's good. So naturally, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna keep going. People will stop going. It's not a musical.
Well, I'm glad it did.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so good.
Yeah.
All right, and now we have our newest game and our best
Yes.
game, and you
In light of,
might be the one that ends this game.
Oh, right.
Because
That is true.
Yeah. So the name of this game is called Titus over Killicus.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is
So these are deaths in Titus Andronicus.
As in how many people died?
No, just these are how they die,
Oh.
and 3 of which are real and 1 is fake.
Okay.
And you have to find the fake one.
Okay.
And so Josh is going to read them off for you.
So A, 2 guys are stabbed and then baked into a pie and fed to their mothers. B, a guy is buried to his neck in the ground and starves to death as he's picked apart by birds. C, a woman's hands are cut off and then her tongue is cut out and then she's stabbed. And D, a guy's arms and legs are cut off and then he's thrown into a fire while he is alive.
Yeah.
Still alive.
And I'm supposed to figure out which is the
Which one's the fake
bogus
one? Which one's not real? Which one doesn't happen in
D.
D? He's going to say
D.
D.
A guy's arms and legs are cut off and then he's thrown into
No.
a fire while he's still alive.
Sorry, they're all real.
They're
They
all-
all happen in Shakespeare's Titus or Andronicus.
This is
Yeah.
the
That's
trick question.
yeah. I'm going to keep going until someone actually tells me no, they all happen, and it
Yeah.
hasn't happened yet. So we're going to keep going. We thought you had a chance for that one. It's okay.
This is the running.
It's a trick joke. It's great. I love it. Titus Andronicus is crazy.
Yeah,
That's
I've seen it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd remember that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there are a lot of
there's so many more. There's so many other deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
True. I mean, yeah. Let's see. So then my favorite game. This is my favorite game.
Yeah, this is gonna be Find the Fake
Find the Fakesicle.
Find the fake skull.
And we're going to and these are the most ridiculous.
Yeah, because musicals have weird names.
musicals always have
Particularly
really-
Broadway musicals in like the 50s and 60s.
and they're super vague.
Yeah. Who knows what they're about?
So we're gonna. So before we do that though, Dan, if you wanna.
Yeah, we want to pick a number between 1 and 123.
76.
76. He's gonna go with, and Minnie Biggles.
Minnie Biggles.
Which
Oh
is
yes, an actress in Philadelphia.
Not her
Heather
real
Plank.
name. Her name is
Heather
Heather
Plank.
Plank. Not her real name.
Yes.
Heather Plank
Wonderful actress.
is going to be you're praying for today to win a T-shirt.
Yes. So yes, Heather Plank's actually pretty fantastic actress as well.
So we're going to try to find that.
So the first, I like this one. Okay, the first find the fakesicle is A, big, B, big river, C, big moment, and D, big boy. I'm sorry, these are...
Big river, big moment, big boy. Three of those are real musicals.
And this is not going to be the one where all of them.
No, that's
No. We promised
that's just Titus Overkilkus.
Yes, that's
we also credit anyone who listens to us.
Yes, we are. Yes, that is also that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I'm not very good at this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I guess I would say C.
C. That is correct.
That's correct.
That is correct.
What
Heather
was
Plank.
that?
T-shirt. It was Big Moment.
Big moment.
Big Moment.
Yeah.
Big Mo.
Big
if you will.
River. Big River.
That I remember.
Oh, yeah.
A musical on Broadway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, there's somebody in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's
Well, it's a retelling of the Huckleberry Finn Mark Twain story.
yeah.
Is it really?
It gets some flack.
Oh, okay, that
sometimes.
makes sense.
It gets a little bit flack.
That makes
Well, I mean,
that
you know,
makes
that's
sense.
That's a
Why
real
would
touchy
you?
subject.
Why would you call it?
Yes, right.
But why would you call it Big River?
Mississippi.
Oh yeah, it's Mississippi.
I assume it's about something else. I don't know why I thought it was straight to Native Americans. Is that weird?
I've seen. I've just seen a lot of
incontinence or something.
Yeah, it could also mean that. Yeah.
Yeah. That the production can be that you can direct that incorrectly. That one I feel like is one that you can direct and make it a little bit.
All right, Josh. Do you want to try to find a Shakespeare play that I would have a chance with? We'll play one more game.
Yes, I would say let's go with.
So this is gonna be our last game, and it's gonna be we're gonna be characters. It's a character game where he's
We're
gonna
gonna
name
go
a
with-
Shakespeare that's well known, and then we can go back and forth naming characters from the play
Oh, yeah.
until we run out.
Okay.
Whoever runs out first.
Okay, and I'm going with Richard III.
Richard III.
Mhm.
It's interesting. It's not great.
Not great.
It's not great for me, but let's do
Not
it.
great for you. Okay.
Oh no, I've
This
seen
is-
it, but I
this
can't
is good.
remember. No,
this is good.
Let's
I'm
do
glad.
it. Let's do it.
This is gonna.
Can I go first?
Usually you sweep up the
Yeah, I
competition.
know. Can I go
with
first?
this. Okay. I would usually flip a coin.
I would like to go
you know,
first in this
you
one.
know. But let's see.
No, we can do Richard III.
Okay.
I have 4 names I have for Richard III. All right?
Okay.
And you're going to say they're cheating for 3 of them.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to go
Okay.
first. I'm going to say Richard III.
Dan.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
So
Yep.
this is where I start cheating. Murderer 1. I'm almost positive it's Cass, remember?
Let's see.
Anne.
There. Well, I mean,
Oh. Okay.
there is. They do have name. Oh, okay. Are you talking about? Well, there's no technical.
It's no technical Murderer 1.
Murderer 1. I mean, you could be. I'm guessing you could be talking about. Man, I don't know, man.
No,
I'm not
it's
going
probably
with
not
it. I'm
great.
saying Dan wins.
Yeah, Dan
hands
wins
down
pretty
already.
hands down on that one.
That was. It was not. It was not.
Because I was going to say Murderer 1, Murderer 2, or Murderer 3.
Yeah.
Those are 3 characters.
a short Shakespeare off.
Oh yeah, they
Indeed.
kill a lot of people on that show.
Yeah, so they might as well
Little
be characters
kids.
of their own.
It's great.
Yeah.
I saw,
Prince in the Tower.
absolutely. So Dan, thank you for coming on our show and playing our stupid games.
Thanks. Thanks, John.
Absolutely.
Had a good
Hawthorne Park.
Hawthorne Park.
is where
Hawthorne Park.
Hawthorne Park.
Mhm.
Not Clark.
Not called
Not
Hawthorne.
Clark.
Hawthorne Park.
Yes,
Go see
wonderful.
it. It's free. That means you don't have to pay anything.
Don't
Bring
have to pay
wine.
anything. Come and bring wine. Buy some T-shirts.
Yeah.
Go out. See some theater. This is theater for everybody.
And Heather Plank, get a free T-shirt.
Oh yes,
Do
Heather
it.
Plank.
You won.
She did win. She's the biggest winner.
She's the
I would
winner
say.
of Biggest.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm
Oh, we didn't
Fennel.
talk about the zoo.
Oh, we didn't. Josh, we're going back to the.
Every single time.
Josh, we're going back to the studio anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we'll talk about it then, maybe. We'll see.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Uh, Look at that. I can see it. Shining somewhere. Somewhere. Anyway, I'm Kevin Fennell.
Josh Kerr.
We're back from our interview.
Oh, Dan was such a cool
It
dude.
was a great interview.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. He won a T-shirt for
Heather Plank.
She won a T-shirt. I feel like she almost won something before. Ah, well.
Maybe. But you know what? This was
We have a flawed
retribution.
system. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, pretty flawless.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was an awesome interview.
Yeah, wonderful indeed.
It was cool talking to him.
There's everybody should go out and see that at the Hawthorne Park.
Hawthorne Park. It's
Yeah.
free. Check it out. It's in Philadelphia. Go see a fringe show. Everyone will think you're cooler.
Everybody will.
Like, you'll show up to work like,
Go and take a selfie.
oh my god, you're gonna absolutely take a selfie.
selfie.
All actors love it when they're on stage and they're working and you take a selfie with them.
Yeah,
They do.
that's everybody's
But
favorite.
like, imagine this. Imagine you go to work on a Monday morning and your friends and everyone there is like, oh, what'd you do this weekend? And you're like, oh man, I went to see a theater show. They're like, oh my god, that's so interesting. All we did was sit on our butts.
Right.
Because we're lame stupid heads.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, what's it like being so smart and like interesting?
Yeah. I mean, that's something that you could answer. That's a question that you could answer when
could.
you say, oh, the story's really about...
Yeah, because you are infinitely more interesting and smart than they are at that moment. Because you saw the play, they didn't because they're dum-dums. Do you want to be a dum-dum? Don't be a dum-dum. That's new. It's a great new slogan.
Yeah, that's our new favorite
We got it. We got a new slogan,
we
guys.
changed the show
Guys,
because then
we
we're not be dead.
just got a slogan. We're not changing the show. We went to the zoo.
No. And we're not be forever.
Yeah, we're going to go now, guys.
We'll talk about the zoo later.
Yeah.
Damn it.